Good day, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, June 22. New legislation and regulations are being developed to address the sale of contaminated fuel in the local market. Energy Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley made the announcement during his sectoral presentation in Parliament yesterday. He said the measures, which are in response to the bad gas report from the Petroleum Trade Reform Committee, were being pursued with great urgency. The goal is to prevent a reoccurrence of last year's reports of substandard fuel being sold in the market and the negative impact on motorists.
The government remains resolute in our commitment to ensure that measures are in place to protect consumers.
Minister Wheatley said legislation would be amended to strengthen the requirements for importing and distributing petroleum products. Stricter licensing conditions will also be introduced, as well as the testing of each shipment of fuel imported, among other measures.
Re-establish a fully staffed petroleum inspectorate under the purview of the ministry to, among other things, regulate, oversee and monitor the petroleum sector and process the granting of licenses and renewals.
In the meantime, Minister Wheatley said redress was still being pursued for victims of last year's bad gas cases. The Consumer Affairs Commission is looking into the matter and has already received $25 million in claims from victims. The Energy Minister also unveiled the government's plans to increase the country's renewable energy platforms by another 100 megawatts during yesterday's sectoral presentation.
Government will return to the markets with another RFP for 100 megawatts of renewables during the course of this year.
A power purchase agreement is being worked out with 8 Rivers Energy Company to supply 33 megawatts of solar energy to the grid at 8.5 US cents per kilowatt hour.
This project, Mr. Speaker, will be located in the Grill Westmoreland and will have an investment of US $50 million and will employ approximately 200 persons during construction and some 50 permanent employees. Construction is slated to start, Mr. Speaker, in 2016-17 and first supply to the grid will be in 2018.
According to Minister Wheatley, this and other investments would put Jamaica on track for producing 15% renewable energy to the grid by 2020. A request for proposal will be issued for an additional 50 kilowatts in a waste-to-energy project.
That the turnaround time for this particular tranche of generation procurement will be quick.
Schools should not be charging exorbitant fees. This is the charge coming from Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid. The minister, who was speaking on Tuesday at a JIS think tank, said the practice was unlawful.
The law requires that any fees that are being charged by schools ought to be approved by the Minister of Education. And what I have said to the team is that we do not expect any increase in any charges over and above last year because all schools will be getting additional resources from the government. And so we are providing guidelines to schools shortly in terms of the reconfiguration of the charges that they will do at that level.
Minister Reid said the ministry would be working with principals and school boards to ensure compliance with the tuition-free policy. He was also quick to add that the sixth forms were not a part of the free tuition policy as they are considered post-secondary.
So the sixth form fees are in fact mandatory and they are not classified as auxiliary fees.
The Ministry of Health has endorsed the introduction of 2 new products to help control the mosquito population in Jamaica. The products were launched by Hardware and Lumber yesterday. One is Aquatane, which forms a liquid film when a few drops are applied to bodies of water and gets rid of pupae, larvae and eggs of mosquitoes. The second product is called the Into Care mosquito trap that lures egg-laying mosquitoes with a special odor. When the mosquitoes make contact with the larvicide and fungicide on the traps, it binds to their bodies and gets transferred as they move to other breeding sites, thereby contaminating and killing larvae and exposed mosquitoes in multiple locations.
Prevention is always going to be better than cure, collectively and individually. And that's what a product like this does, and therefore, to my mind, having passed all the appropriate tests that we conduct to sanction its authenticity and its health, the benefits and its purpose or cause for which it is promoted, we are about embracing, endorsing, and supporting.
20 of the Into Care kits and solutions of the Aquatane were donated to the Waterford High School in Portmore yesterday to help control the mosquito population in that area. Hardware and Lumber will also bear the cost for the placement of the kits at the school by licensed pest control operators. And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is hailing the United States for helping Jamaica achieve some critical milestones. Mr. Holness says the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, has been aligning its help with the country's development goals and objectives in a number of areas, including environment and climate change resilience. He was speaking on Monday at a farewell reception for outgoing USAID Mission Director to Jamaica, Denise Herbal.
I want to wish you all the best. You have, in your service, done a great job for humanity. You have touched many lives.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.